Alright, take two, Geektastic Vlog. Today's Sunday, April 27th, 2014. And I'm YogiZilla, if you don't know that already. I had to stop at the first one because some people like to scream across the house. And I don't got that good of soundproofing up in here. Like, really? Walk up to the person and talk. Anyway, before I go into my whole grumpy old man shtick, let's just review what I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be very quick. Got a lot of stuff is going on, and got to keep moving. Do want to do some streaming. I got a bunch of video work to do, and I'm also coming up with a new show that I want to start recording ASAP. I'm going to need help there, so before we get into that, I do also want to talk about what else will be in the show. So I'm going to talk about Herzog Zwei a little bit more, which I think is one of the greatest games of all time, and hence the wallpaper, and talk about Retro Friday and all that good stuff. I do have a Retro Friday video up for Herzog Zwei, which is on the Sega Genesis. Check that out. More on that in a bit. I'm also going to try to attempt, this is inspired by people over at Knuckleballer Radio. I'm going to try to attempt at the end of the show, I'm going to try to put one of these things whole in my mouth. I'm probably going to get very sick off of it. It's a giant Reese's peanut butter cup. I have dinner coming up too. I probably shouldn't be doing this. But anyway, I think I shall cue the music now. So we could have a little something to hear besides my voice. I had a song picked. Yeah, there we go. Just a little background music. Alright, so this is what I need from you guys. Go over... Actually, go over to Geektastic.net. And there's a place there that says Gang Projects and Openings. You can search for it in the search bar, and it'll come up. And there's a few show concepts there, but I'm going to share them with you right now. But if you want more background, there's some more details there. And I'll try to get more there. But I've tried to come up with a good name for a show. I have a few names, so I might end up doing a poll, so check back. But if you can think of some words that make you think about the following, maybe some images that come to your head, this is basically what we're trying to do. And this is not going to be a live show like Horseplay. It's going to be pre-recorded, you know, and we'll probably get them out, I don't know, on Friday or Saturday, some day of the week. So I don't know what day they'll actually be published. Like Horseplay's shows come out on basically on Fridays. Well, technically Thursday, because we go back in time and then re-upload them. But yeah, Thursday and Fridays when Horseplay usually come out. So I want to kind of have more shows to cover every day of the week, so we have constant content going out. This show's gonna be like the Game Theory podcast, which I happen to love, and I've had this kind of for a long time before I even discovered that a Game Theory podcast was a thing. The thing with them is that they talk about the inner workings of video games and the gaming industry from a very scholastic perspective, which is cool. I love the topics, but I find sometimes they come off a little elitist, abrasive, perhaps, and the show's a little too smart for its own good. I'm not saying that content should be dumbed down for mass appeal, but like they're going into it from a very hardcore perspective, and I think there needs to be a show, and I haven't seen this out there. I've looked. There needs to be a show that could talk about game mechanics, theories, design concepts, psychology of it, and then also then after that, which will be the first half of our show, the second half will be strategies and tips and just general banter. And we're not going to be very scripted. We'll just have a general theme or topic for each show, and then just let it flow from there. So that's kind of the idea that we're going with, and we're going to have revolving hosts and guest hosts. So it's going to be great. I already got a bunch of people lined up that you may already know over from All Games, from the Geeky Antics team, and all over the place. So it's going to be really good. We're even in talks of probably doing some developer interviews to get their perspective on the whole game design process and what inspires certain decisions. Because a lot of times, as gamers, if you don't have development or design background like I do, or a lot of other people do, you take for granted some of the things that happen. You don't know why they make certain features the way they are. You don't know why they strip some stuff out other than greed. You know, there's usually very fair reasons for all that stuff. So we're gonna get really deep on gaming history. Not so much gaming history, but that'll be a part of it. But the theories and the mechanics, and the core concepts that drive games, that make them fun or are not fun, addicting. What makes a game feel like the grind, and what makes it feel like it's actual fun. We lose track of time and we don't even notice it. Stuff like that, you know. If you pay attention to anything like Gabe Zickerman, I always forget butchering the name, but he does this whole thing about gamification, and there's this stuff. Game theory is all around us. You know, what makes something sticky or immersive, and they're not always the same thing. You know, what keeps us coming back? What builds replay value? So that's kind of the stuff that we want to do there. What else? So I'm leaning towards kind of having. These are some of the names I thought of. Strategery. It's a tongue-in-cheek reference. Some of you might pick it up. It's a movie reference, by the way. Gears of Gaming. The Game Mechanics. The Gaming Forge. And I have to check to see if these already exist. I haven't seen anything like this pop up. I was thinking about something like Bits and Pieces or Bits and Pixels. You know, stuff like that. And another thing we're gonna do is have games that will be a constant rotation, like League of Legends, Hearthstone, Soulforge, because these are games that we constantly revisit, and I think it should be like at least a segment, a pseudo segment, or something that we'll just talk about it very often. That really dissecting it from a strategic perspective. So it's gonna be great. I already told Obi about it. He's excited about being a guest host. I might do some solo shows, but I definitely would love to have like 3 or 4 people per show, so we could really get a deep discussion going and stretch out, you know, one big theme for an hour or so. And that's the idea. So let me know if you have an idea of some words that come to mind when you think about game mechanics, you think about game design, what the things that make you passionate about gaming, the inner workings, the gears, the cogs, the behind the scenes, the nitty gritty. Think about some of the words you think about, and let us know over at 206-415-4987. Leave me a voicemail there and say it's regarding the new show that we're planning and some of the ideas you have to help us formulate a brand, because I have a very loose concept for the brand. Everything else is pretty much solid, but I can't firm this up right now because there's so much I want to do with this, but I also want to keep it specific. So I want to make sure we start off right. So any feedback, definitely welcomed. Leave voicemail 206-415-4987. Again, 206-415-4987. And just say, what's up, Yogi? I got some ideas for this new game theory / strategy show that you want to do, or better yet, game mechanics. Because I don't want to just talk about game theory. That seems too scholastic. It's just mechanics, the things that the little bells and whistles, the gears, the inner workings of games and the gaming industry. We'll even talk about marketing. You know, it's something that impacts us all in different ways, whether you're a marketer or you're just someone that falls prey to the ads. Alright, we're already almost 10 minutes in, so let's move on. Herzog Zwei. I got the videos up, or the video up for Herzog Zwei and AirMech. I haven't put it up. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, I probably haven't put the AirMech stuff up yet. I want to get some good videos. I've been having some issues with that. But you can watch it on my Twitch channel, YogiZilla, twitch.tv/YogiZilla. And check out some of the AirMech stuff there. I'm in the process of highlighting lots of those videos and bookmarking on all that stuff. So stay tuned. Probably going to try to get some of that stuff over at the GangNet site, geekyantics.net. So stay tuned for that. And all the information you need is right down below, where it should be. I mean, I mean, I'm pointing down, but let me make sure I still kept it there. Yeah, right there. Right there. Okay, I can't do this properly. There, right down there. What else? What else? So yeah, Herzog Zwei. Let me tell you why I think this game is so great. It's an RTS that's just. Let me drink something real quick. It's really hot. I've been meaning to do a lot of Sample Saturday, hashtag Sample Saturday, and Retro Friday stuff, hashtag Retro Friday. Shameless plugs. That's a community effort. A lot of people are starting to do that stuff. Well, at least Retro Friday. Sample Saturday may not catch on. I might just switch it to Dust Off, because really that's what a lot of it is. It's just dusting off old games and whatnot, and just switching it up. But anyway, Herzog Zwei, I love it because even to this day, there's nothing quite like it. AirMech comes really close, and I love the guys over at Carbon Games. What's up? What's up? You guys have been really good to me and the rest of the community. Appreciate all the support, by the way, Carbon. Good people. Make sure you go to their Facebook page and give them a like for AirMech, and their Twitter should be Play AirMech at Play AirMech. Free to play game, and I have microtransactions, but you know it's truly free to play, not like a huge paywall. There's co-op, there's PvP, it's great. But Herzog Zwei is still, it's amazing that people have not focused on the core elements of it, which is the fact that you could program your units and they take on a life of their own. So in that essence, they become creeps and they become like a MOBA. And it's brilliant because really, you could argue that Herzog Zwei is the granddaddy of all RTS and MOBA games as we know them today. And this game still, if you look back, it gets bad reviews. It got terrible reviews back then. It's only now that like some of the hipsters are like, yeah, this is one of the most innovative games of all time. But those same people were probably the ones that were bashing it when it came out, giving it like EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly gave Herzog Zwei on the Sega Genesis a like 4 out of 10. And you know, gaming journalism has been pretty bad for a long time. It's a lot of, you know, hands in pockets, you know, money being exchanged, and that's what determines the opinions. But Herzog Zwei, it paved the way for so much as we know it today. Blizzard admits that Herzog Zwei inspired Warcraft and Starcraft as we know it, and other people have said the same thing. You can see Total Annihilation. It's an older game too, not as old as Herzog Zwei, but the influence is clear there. And now there's Planetary Devastation, which is based off of Total Annihilation, which honestly is based off of Herzog Zwei. It's all connected, and people don't know that. They don't realize it. They take it for granted. You know, we gamers have become kind of like spoiled brats. It's like we have a sense of entitlement, and it's kind of like, oh, this needs to be better, or that game sucks. And so we have a lot of us have a stigma against kind of, you know, retro and indie style games, but there are a lot of classics and retro style games, you know, the collective retro game family, that are still good regardless of what they look like. Because the gameplay is solid, and Herzog Zwei is one of those. It's fast-paced. People say it's really slow, but I don't agree. It's very fast-paced, and you actually have to be... It has the strategy, but then it has the fast-paced kind of twitch nature of like a Call of Duty, where you really have to do things quickly. You can't slow down, because if you hesitate, your opponent's getting that much stronger, taking over bases, expanding their presence, and building more units. And there's an economy. If you just start building really expensive units right off the bat, you'll go broke, and then you can't do anything. So you need to like churn out cheap units, start attacking while also defending at the same time. It's crazy. And if someone just took Herzog Zwei and focused on the core elements, not making it so much about the land armor, the mechs themselves, and making more about managing your units and working together, you could do co-op scenarios and PvP. See, AirMech should do that. They should do a gameplay mode where the AirMech itself does not get any buffs. So it's more about managing your economy and getting your units placed right. Now the bad thing about Herzog Zwei, since it was so ahead of its time, is that it couldn't really do what it needed to. There was a limit of about 50 units per side, and once you started reaching that cap, it started to get significantly laggy, and you got the usual choppy, stuttering screen effect. But the Sega Genesis handled it quite well for what it was. Because there's a lot of stuff being processed there, all the pathing information, units that are moving while they're not on screen, and advancing, and oh my gosh, this is so cool. I mean, send an army of infantry out to an issue order, you know, hey, take over the nearest neutral base. Hey, these motorcycles are going to escort you, go ahead and clear the path. Okay, I'm going to take a tank with me and drop it somewhere to help them out and push the front line. I mean, it's just so much fun. But you know, you can't just be, it's just like StarCraft or any other RTS. If you're just focusing on attacking, someone could backdoor you because your base is, you know, is wide open. Or if you focus too much on defense, your opponent's taking over resources and creating outposts and getting closer to you and just essentially surrounding you, so you have nowhere to go, and they kill your economy and you're done. And controlling neutral bases in Herzog Zwei is super important. By the way, Chip Sella, aka Captain Chaos, he's a big fan of this. You can watch, you can listen to me over at the B Team Podcast on allgames.com, Stitcher, Zune, and all that good stuff. iTunes, you know, that exists too. But yeah, he's a big fan of it. He said he played this a lot during his college years, and I'm in the same boat. I mean, Herzog Zwei is such a fun game. And if you enjoy the video I have on YouTube, give it some likes, share it. If you love retro games, if you appreciate the history of gaming, if you love strategy games, I mean, show us some love. If you play AirMech, you should be showing some love to this. Give it a like. Let's spread the word. And at the same time, we can make people aware of AirMech, because that community is great, and it's only going to get better the more we talk about it. And I think people will appreciate AirMech more when they see how much it's built upon the core of what Herzog Zwei is. And it's great because you know, AirMech does have the whole thing about programming your units, but again, it's pretty much the same game, but beautiful graphics and lots of customization. But Herzog Zwei focused a lot more on your economy and the units. It was a lot more of a hardcore RTS and strategy game overall. So yeah, that's my rant about Herzog Zwei. And I'm a bit of a Sega fanboy, I'll admit it. But anyway, it's almost dinner time soon, so I'm going to go ahead and do this whole thing that the guys over at Knuckleballer Radio inspired, which is to try to pop one of these Reese's Big Cup king-size jammies in your mouth. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about it and sign off. So you probably won't understand a single thing I said. So before I do sign off, make sure you visit geekantics.net. And again, I do ask you guys that if you have feedback for what you'd like to see in the show that's about games, but isn't the usual, this is what I'm playing, these are the new games that are coming out or have come out, these are the deals of the week, you know, this is the industry news. That stuff is great, but there's so much of it already. We want to just do something much more different that will still be about gaming, but more of the things that no one ever talks about for whatever reason. And I think these are really interesting topics, because the more you are aware of what is really happening when you play a game and you really enjoy it or not, the more you can say, these are my tastes, and this is probably the kind of stuff I should be looking for. And maybe we might be able to put you onto something new, or maybe have you try something that you may not have tried earlier because you realize, oh, maybe I wasn't being fair to that. Like deck building games, super good example, right? People usually say, I don't like those deck building games, and usually the main reason is because they don't like deck building. They don't know how to balance the deck. They don't know how to decide what should go in with their deck, or how to come up with the core mechanics of a deck. But they can figure out the actual gameplay mechanics just fine. And Hearthstone is good about that, but it still has that deck building thing. And what happens, people don't know how to build decks, so they end up just copying what they see on other matches. They net deck. But yeah, just let me know what kind of stuff you'd like to see on a new gaming show. We're gonna have a very heavy game mechanics and / design and strategy focus. A little bit, maybe 50-50, 70-30, depending. It might switch every day, depending how deep we go with the main topic. So, and we show lots of love to some of our mainstays, League of Legends, Hearthstone, Soulforge, Dota 2, all that good stuff. And it was funny, is actually this show was originally going to be mostly dedicated or 100% Soulforge, but I can't do it. As much as I would like to be one of the few shows that talks about Soulforge, it's just the problem with deck building games is that they tend to get stale because the players find the most viable decks and then they refuse to experiment. And that's the bad side of it. I love strategy games and I definitely love my TCGs and CCGs, but that is the downside. So there's only so much you can talk about one specific game when it comes to that. I'm surprised that Angry Chicken is able to do it as much as they do about Hearthstone, because let's face it, there's not that much variety there either. So it is a little bit better, and as simple as Hearthstone is, it does have quite a few dynamic elements. It's surprisingly deep. But anyway, I'm ranting here. Just go ahead and leave a voicemail, 206-415-4987. Let me know what you would like to see in the gaming show. Something to switch it up. Pretty much have the ideas, but any other feedback, hey, it might help us with some other stuff that we're putting together, or this show that we're working on. So yeah, 206-415-4987, or send an email, geekyantics@gmail.com. And now I will attempt this, and this is going to be dangerous. Alright guys, all in the mouth at the same time. Oh wow. A little bit right here. Peanut butter right there. Oh yeah, that's good. Peanut butter and chocolate is real good. Not bad. Now, I think it'd be more of a challenge if you had to put two of them in your mouth at the same time. I'm not gonna try right now because it's almost dinner time. But if you want to do it, pick it up, Reese's Big Cup. Make a video. Maybe we'll make a mashup if enough people do it. I think I did tweet it out. Hashtag Big Cup. I think I did. So if you do it, just mention me at Yogizilla and at Geektastic on Twitter, and link us to the video. Maybe make it part of your vlog. Oh man, peanut butter and chocolate so good. Oh, I gotta spoil my appetite. Dinner. I got dinner in a few minutes. You saw nothing. Nothing happened. All right, guys. All right. I think that's it. I kept a pretty focused discussion today. We have a lot of great stuff coming over at geekyantics.net. If you want to be a part of the show, maybe just guest, contribute to the blog, whatever your talents are, your interests are, let me know. Let us know. 206-415-4987. Leave some comments on the blog. That's the thing I liked to see the most, because the people over there work really hard. We have a great team. We're becoming a family, a dysfunctional family at that. And it's gonna be great if they get that love and get the support to keep doing what they love. Because for a lot of us, this is a labor of love, but eventually we can make this into something we do full time. Just doing gaming and geeky stuff 24/7 and making a living out of it. It's possible to do it now. A lot of people are doing it, but it's a grind. It's work nonetheless. All right, I'm done. What's up? It's just short of 25 minutes. Thanks so much for tuning in to my Geektastic vlog. This is Yogizilla, and I'm out. Peace.